Hi everyone, I thought today I would show you in a little more detail Agotapop's spring tinies, almost like I do with a flip through, but this is a download. And then I thought we could colour one. I thought it would be rather fun. Now these are available on Etsy. I will put the link in the description, but it won't be a link directly to this particular download sheet. It is my 10% discount code, and if you follow that link you can buy any of Agotapop's pages with a 10% discount. I'm not entirely sure how much these are because she has sent them to me for free to show you and to colour and that sort of thing. So I'm going to show you all of them. So these are the spring tinies. That's what they're called. But when you go to Etsy, you can see all the sheets of what you're buying. So you can check that if this is what you want to buy, for example, you can check that this is the one that you're going to get. So let's have a look in more detail at all the little pictures, and then I'll pick one to colour. So here we have what to me looks like some snowdrops. So that's rather cute. I like these little berries as well. I don't know what colour they would be, but they're rather fun, aren't they? You know I like berries. And then look, we have a little house in a pot. I think that's adorable. Look at the little ladder. Now you may notice, I don't know how closely you can see, there is a flaw in the printing here where there is a line. It goes all the way across the whole of here. Now that's my printer. That isn't a problem with the download. My printer misses lines out sometimes. I don't know why. It's rather irritating, but hey ho, it is what it is. So as I say, that's not a problem with the printing, and you can see they're lovely sharp. Now they're quite they're darkish. They're not really black, but they're, you know, so you can see what you're doing. It's rather nice. And let's go down to the next one. Look at this gorgeous mailbox. I think that's so cute. So we've got a couple of letters, but we've got these lovely flowers. Again, these look a little bit like crocuses to me, but of course you can colour them however you wish. And then we have another little house. I think what she said was she's done a sheet with houses on and they were really popular, so she thought she would incorporate some housing into this one as well, which is rather sweet, I think. Oh, I'm shivering. I've gone all cold. So we have another little step ladder to get up, and these look a little bit again like crocuses, maybe forget-me-nots. I'm not sure whether I should be trying to work out what the flowers are or whether they are slightly random. I don't know. So we have a little teacup here, look, planted up in a terrarium. I think that's rather fun. That's quite cute. And of course we have glass to do, which can be a challenge, but you know, it's just something a little bit different. And you can just leave them empty, so behind, as if it's just see-through if you want to keep it really easy. So you have a nice daffodil in that one. And then these look maybe crocuses or something. Not sure about those, perhaps just a daisy, rather sweet. So I like those too. So that's the first sheet. There are 6 per page. That's our first page. This is the next one. I'm probably looking at them out of order. I don't really know what the order is. So here we have a nice fence and some sort of bluebells, I'm thinking, maybe with some snowdrops, which is rather sweet. And here, these to me look like pansies, but I'm not sure if they are supposed to be or not, but that's rather fun. And a little mug with a ribbon round. That one's sweet. And a watering can full of a posy, which is very nice. And here we have something a little plainer, which is quite fun. We've got a bird box, so you can spend time doing your wood effect, and you've got tulips and whatever that is. And we have a lovely set of florals here. So we have tulips, daffodils. We have, these look like, what were they called? Cheerfulness, a type of small, or narcissus, are they called? A type of mini daffodil. And these I think look more like bluebells, so that's rather fun. We've got some bluebells coming up in our garden at the minute. And these again look like mini daffodils to me. We've got another little pot there, that's rather sweet. And then we have the next sheet. So we have what looks to me like a little bonsai tree or something there, and a couple of other pots, which is rather nice. And we have some gardening things here. So if you felt like you wanted a little break from some florals, you've got your seed packet, a couple of tufts of leaves, and a flower pot. So that's rather fun, I think. And then we have a sack of flowers. I think that's such a cute idea. So that's rather fun. And again, these flowers are less obvious what they're meant to be, which means you can just go mad with colour, use your imagination. Look at these. Just cute. Imagine how much soil you'd have to put in to plant up a boot though. Oh, we have a little bird and some blossom. That one's really cute. I have been asked to do a bird colouring, but I probably won't do this one. I've got one put by to do, which I'm going to do over the next week or so probably. I haven't quite planned out all my videos. And this one we have a lovely cup with some florals, but look, a little bird box or something in the cup. Must be a giant cup or a teeny weeny bird box, maybe just for a wren. One of those enormous ones you get in the coffee shops that are humongous, like family size coffee. And this is the last sheet. This is, yes, very pretty. And we have a cute bird. This looks like grape hyacinths to me. And a sweet little basket of flowers. And look at a little birdhouse again in a tree but planted up into a cup. I think that's very sweet. Now here is an umbrella with florals. I've seen about 2 or 3 of these just in the last couple of days coloured, and they look adorable. So I'm not going to do that one because I've seen quite a few of them, and that one as well. I think I am going to do, which one did I pick? I wanted, where was it? I'm trying to find the one I decided to do. Now, just to let you know, with these downloads, when you buy it, you can print it off as many times as you wish for your own use. You can't distribute it to other people. Obviously, with the copyright on the download, you get 1 copy for yourself, which is absolutely fair. And that's how it works. So you get the copy, but you can print it out lots of times, or if there's one particular sheet you like more than others, you can do that. And it comes in 2 sizes. You get a A4, which is what these are printed on in, and you get the letter size for the US printers, so it will be adjusted for whichever type of printer you're using, which can be quite handy. I think it means it's you know, you can do it to suit your own printer, so that's rather good. I think I've chosen which one I'm going to do. I rather like the look of that one, so that's the one. Now just a little word about paper. These are printed on Bristol board. I find it works well for most pencils, although not very well for polychromos, oddly. So, but you can print it on any type of printer. I've got my Arteza Expert. I'm just going to start colouring while I'm chattering away. I'm going to use the cocoa brown for the soil and just get started. Yes, so the Bristol board, what I like about it is it's quite smooth. It's thick. So I can actually I'm colouring straight onto my desk, and I haven't got anything underneath. It cushions itself, so it's quite thick, which is rather good. But it only just fits in my printer. The most important thing to mention when you're going to be doing your own printouts is that you need to make sure that you check what size paper your printer can take with regards to the thickness. Now often the thickness is done in GSM, is it grams per square metre or something really strange? I'm probably wrong, I don't know. And I'm going to grab a darker colour, hold on a minute, and I usually like to add grey in with brown for soil, so I'm going to use the pewter grey just to add in a little bit. Yeah, just find out what your printer can take first, or if you're getting a friend to print it or going to the library or a print shop, get in touch with them first and ask them if you're providing your own paper. I mean, if you're going to a print shop, they might provide the paper for you, so you know that would resolve that issue. Now I'd like a terracotta colour pot really, but I'm not sure that I've got anything like that in this Arteza set. So maybe I won't do that. What I think I'll do actually is colour my plants first and then decide on the pot colour. I might think about a colour scheme. Sometimes for these pages it's quite nice to pull out a colour cube card and use that to decide on your colours, which is always fun. But I haven't done that today. I'm going to grab this burnt ochre actually and do this stem and just sort of get started really with some of our plants. Sort of excited to get on with the plant bit really, and I'll think about the pots after. But yeah, I mean any sort of printing you're doing of any downloads, you know, you need to be careful of your printer and the paper you're choosing anyway. I've always used Bristol board, apart from copy paper when I first started, but I'm about to start trying some different types. I've been told that Strathmore is a good brand to go for, and they do toned papers and things like that, which I'm quite keen to try, but I haven't been able to find any online, and I haven't been to my art shop. That's a little bit pale for my liking. I am going to grab the cocoa brown that I used for the soil and just go over it a little bit, particularly the edges. If we go over the edges a bit, it can make it look a little bit more rounded and three-dimensional, which I like. I would extend that, I didn't notice that. Yeah, so I need to go to my art shop and my local print shop and just talk to them about paper really, but I haven't got round to it yet. I was in town today. I could have gone. The art shop isn't in town, it's the other direction to town. So but I was too concentrated on getting my husband's prescription. He was running out, and I popped in to get it yesterday, and there'd been some sort of error happening at the chemist, and their computer had downloaded the prescriptions with an error code. My husband works in IT and he knew exactly what the problem would have been, but what it meant was that all they got was the name and an error. This is the moss green. I'm going to use this for the leaves. So yes, it was a bit of a disaster, but luckily I was able to phone the surgery and get it sorted out this morning, so I could go and pick them up today. And I was also chatting to them about what supplements I might consider taking. The pharmacist said I was saying, you know, I'm sort of that menopausal age, what should I be taking? The pharmacist said HRT. One of the assistants came out to help me look at the supplements. The reason I'm anti-HRT is because of the health risks. I'm not too concerned. I know there's a cancer risk with HRT, which is really small, and because it doesn't run in my family, that isn't something, and I'm very careful with myself. Like, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I eat really healthily, so I don't have many of those risk factors for that, so I wasn't too worried about that, especially as the increase in incidence or likelihood is so small. It was the heart disease that I was thinking a little bit more about, because that does run in the family a little bit, sort of all tied in with the diabetes and things like that. So I was thinking, and we don't have osteoporosis in the family, which is something that it's supposed to help against, but there are other things you can do to help prevent the osteoporosis, like weight-bearing exercise, which I need to do more of, strength training and things like that, and I'm trying hard to increase all of those and keep my diet good, to try and help myself. But it's just the anxiety. I've had so much increased anxiety over the last 5-10 years, and I'm wondering whether it's related to my hormones or not. I've seen other changes which are definitely related to hormones. So, but I was chatting to my sister about it just now, and she's like, but the side effects, and I was like, I know. It's really difficult to decide. And she's like, how do you know that your increase in anxiety is definitely to do with that? What happens if you take it and it doesn't work? And I'm like, well, you just stop taking it. I'm thinking orange would go quite nicely with this and the branches and things. So yeah. But I'm thinking, will the doctor actually give it to me? Are my symptoms serious enough? There's a shortage, orange, of HRT in the UK at the moment, and I would feel terrible if I deprived someone of theirs when they really, really needed it, because I feel like I'm just coping, you know. And so I've taken up my yoga, and I'm trying to make sure I do it every day, and I'm hoping that the meditation side of it and things like that is going to help me. So I think what I've done is I bought a supplement which is slightly different to see whether that makes any difference. And I'm sort of determined to do more yoga, meditation, and basically sort of self-helpy type things, because although I sound calm and happy when I'm on my videos, I'm not always like that, obviously. You know, we all have our up and down moods, and doing this is brilliant. It really helps me, because if I'm feeling a bit stressed, then I come and talk to you guys, and I don't want to share my stresses with you guys, and it helps me just feel loads better. And also I can just chatter away and nobody interrupts me. Which is brilliant. So it works really well as a sort of therapy in a way, so that's fantastic, so thank you. And that's good. So now, I said I wanted to do this pot slightly terracotta-y, and I'm still thinking of that ilk, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this colour. This is the sienna brown, and I'm going to use this. I think it will work. So yeah, I'm just trying various things really. It's just I'm not feeling really bad or anything. I'm just not feeling as good as I have in the past, and so I don't know whether, it's always hard to know, is it the hormonal change? Is it the fact that my children have been doing their GCSEs and A-levels, going through secondary school, which was very stressful for them, that my husband's more stressed? You know, probably, and that sort of thing. Or is it related to my hormones, you know? And thinking about it, you know, did I used to get this stressed, but because I put it down to sort of the various hormonal changes during different times of the month, that made me feel easier with it somehow? Is it because I'm not doing as much meditation as I was before? You know, you ask yourself all these questions. So I'm going to try, as I say, a selection of things. I'm going to make sure I do yoga every day now. I had been doing it, and I felt really, yeah, after the session, I just felt so chilled. So that's really good. So I'm going to make sure I get back to that. I'd stopped it because my back was hurting. And what I've realised is there are certain yoga moves that I can't do. I'd love to, but they're not helping me with my sciatica. So I'm just going to leave them out, because I think what I've done, any of you who know about yoga will know what a downward dog is. It's a very basic yoga move that you learn early on in your practice. And I've got a frozen shoulder, so you're basically taking a lot of weight on your arms and legs. Look, I've got a little flaw in my paper, can you see? You're taking a lot of weight, and my shoulder can't cope with that. It starts to hurt. Now, I know with my frozen shoulder that as soon as it starts hurting, I have to stop exercising it. And the yoga has been brilliant, because it's really loosened it up, and I've got much more flexibility in it than I had before, which is excellent. And it wasn't hurting anymore than before. It hurts occasionally, but it's so much better. It's absolutely no trouble. But the doing the downward dogs like yesterday was hurting my shoulder, so I decided I would just adjust slightly so my weight was more on the other side, and I think that was a bit of a mistake. So I think what I need to do is just not do them, find something else to do instead, a different pose, while we're supposed to be doing those. I was watching someone who was so bendy and flexible at doing them. I was like, oh, I want to do that. I want to be like that. I've never been that bendy and flexible. I need to be a bit more careful with my goal setting. I think I just pushed myself a bit too hard. So, you know, I've only been doing it for a few weeks. I can't just expect to be like amazingly flexible and brilliant. Right, we're going to grab the cocoa brown again that we've been using for various bits, and put some shadow in under here. Now hopefully you've seen what I was doing while I was chattering away, and I've tried to make it a little bit lighter towards the centre of the pot. Now I haven't used lots of colour. You could certainly use a lot more layers if you wanted. I've just been I'm just doing it casually in a relaxed way, enjoying, and quite basic, and that's lovely. Now the bow, I thought red. Let's do an orangey red. What have we got here? Oh, maybe I'll do the blood orange actually, because I really want to make sure it's orangey, and some of those reds, the carmine red and things, are a bit pink. So let's use the blood orange and do this bow. So darker here. I'm going to just fade it like that. You know, if you've watched me do ribbons before, I like to fade them a little bit to make them look sort of shiny. I'm not going to worry there because it's too little space. So I'm going to try and leave a lighter bit in the middle there. It just looks a bit silky. I mean, whether it would be or not, I don't know, but that's how I imagine it. So a little bit lighter on the top there. Like that. I don't know how well you can see. I hope you can see. So yeah, I'm trying these different things, and before I go to bed I try and do some sort of body muscular relaxation, which I find really beneficial for sleep. So basically lying in bed and try to particularly let go of that tension in the shoulders, which we always seem to get during the course of a day. I don't know about you, I do. My shoulder, sometimes I can just feel that my shoulders are up, you know, so I just try and relax them down. And I think we're going to do matching colours, so I'm going to use magenta. No, that's probably a bit too pink. She lies. I'm going to use the passion fruit red for this little bowl. I'm just going to sharpen it. So I try and make sure I lie on my back, I put my hands down by my sides, and I just basically pull my arms down and sort of force my shoulders down a little bit so they're more relaxed. And then I try and sort of do some nice deep even breaths, and sometimes I imagine I'm in a relaxing shower, or that I'm having a relaxing massage on a particular part of my body that might be a little bit sore. If I'm in a lot of pain, I tend to try and avoid thinking about that part of my body at all, and just concentrate really hard on relaxing a particular part, particular muscles in my body. So it might be my toes, or it might be my arms, I don't know. I usually do my toes because they're never sore, and as much as it's nice to try and relax the parts of you that might be sore, particularly if it's a muscular pain, I find that focusing on it too much brings attention to it hurting. See, last night I kept waking up and I was sore from my sciatica, and I just kept turning over and just trying to sink myself into the bed and let the bed sort of absorb that sort of soreness almost. And although I woke up a lot of times, I did keep going back to sleep, which was good. I do feel refreshed this morning, and sometimes we have nights like that, I keep waking up, and it might have not been the pain that woke me up. This is the pear green. It might just have been some noise outside or inside even, you know. And husband said he had a few strange dreams, so he might have been fidgeting, you know, so it was fine. So it's just having little techniques, but that's beginning to help me, you know. And I think it's a matter of trying to get into the habit of doing that all the time. Not all the time, you know, a certain time every day, getting into the habit of finding something that relaxes you, whatever it might be. Obviously colouring is really good for most of us, but trying to then take notice of that state of mind that you're in, and then if you do feel a little bit anxious, trying to harness back into that way of thinking so that you can bring that relaxed state back to you when you're in a situation where you can't do that relaxing activity. Maybe, you know, if you're in the queue at the supermarket, someone in front of you is being slow, you've got an appointment, so come on, hurry up. Take those deep breaths and just try and imagine you're in that state of relaxation that you were in when you were colouring, when you were meditating, doing your yoga, whatever it is you might have been doing. It's just trying to find that state so that you can try and harness it at other times. You know, it might be that you enjoy walking or running or just laughing at the TV, doing a word search, a crossword, cooking, singing, dancing. You know, there's so many things that we can do to relax, which might not be things that you would necessarily think that's my relaxation, but actually, you know, it is cocoa brown, because we often just hear about meditation and things like that, and people don't mention that, you know, it can just be a more sort of normal, for want of a better word, activity that we might not just associate as being meditative, that just is, you know, a hot bath, a relaxing shower, that sort of thing. And if we can sort of harness that peaceful feeling when we're feeling het up, and that is the difficult bit, to be honest, trying to do that. I am now thinking about my bottle very hard. I want it to match, and therefore I think it needs to be coloured rather than see-through, because if it's see-through, it needs to be grey with maybe like blue water or something like that. That's not going to work. So I am thinking I need it to be like orangey browny green. I don't want it to be a bluey green though, which is how I often do glass. So I'm gonna have to be brave and try something a bit different. I don't know if this is gonna work. I'm gonna try it and see. So we'll see. I'm going to try the garnet red. It's really quite dark, and I like doing darker glass, but I'm going to apply it lightly, if that makes any sense. So in here is going to be the darkest bit, I think. I'm just going to try and make it lightish. This is a bit pink. I think it will be okay though. And then light towards the centre. We leave a little white shine because it's glass. I'm going to ignore the fact that liquid has been drawn there at the moment. I might completely ignore it. I might do something about it. I haven't decided yet. Now I want to quite rapidly fade this so it doesn't look overpoweringly dark, because I've got to go over. I'm not going to leave my white line here because I want to go over the top of that stem. I don't think you're going to necessarily see it very much, but you know, it would be slightly coloured from this coloured glass. So I'm just going over it a little bit. Really, I'm going to go over it quite a lot, just so it looks different to that bit. Okay, and I could have left my white line sort of here, but I'm just going to darken up a bit actually. Be a bit more daring. I just heard the strangest noise outside. Sounded like a cow. Oopsie. Just putting a bit of shadow under that rim, and I think there would be some shadow down here too, like that, sort of on the base. There we go. Now let's brush that away. It's quite bitty. Now I'm thinking I just want to add a few little touches of white. I haven't got my white pen in here. I used my Jelly Roll 10. My Posca pen is next door. I don't know why I took it next door, but I was using it the other day thinking that doesn't belong in here. I'm going to put a fair bit on here because we want it to look quite glassy, so we can just add, you know, quite a few white lines for reflection across the whole bottle, I'm thinking. And we'll put a little bit of shine on the edge of this one too, just so it's not left out. A little bit on our ribbon. My pen's getting clogged up now. Now sometimes I find it can really enhance a flower or a leaf to add some white, make it look prettier. I'm not going to do that on these because we can't really see the centre. I'm thinking that usually it's the centres that look enhanced from white pen, so I'm actually just going to leave it there. Now it's not the neatest of colouring, but I rather like the colours, and I'm happy with just leaving it like that. You know, I think it's rather sweet. A lovely image from Agotapop. So as I said, there's a link in the description if you are interested in these pages. I may come back and do another one or two on video, I'm not sure yet, but I just thought I would just show you the one and just let you know about the downloads. I've got another download of hers. I'm going to do a similar video with that one just to show you them close up and to colour one. Excuse me. Oh, toast crumbs, to give you an idea of what you might want to do with it. But for now, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a really lovely day and happy colouring.